Good evening and welcome to IBA News, coming to you from Jerusalem. Likud.
They're rolling on Dan August. This is Quinn Martin. He's producing Dan August. He's the man who produced The Untouchables. He produced The Fugitive. And it is also Quinn Martin who produces The FBI. Now, a new QM production, Dan August. Burt Reynolds stars as a young police officer. Idealistic. Realistic. Committed. Dan August.
Monday night is a whole new game with a new lineup, beginning with Let's Make a Deal, with host Monty Hall. And then it's the Newlywed Game. With host Bob Eubanks. And then it's the Real Game. With host Jack Barry. Well, that's our lineup for Monday night. Game night on ABC. General Hospital, where doctors and nurses dedicate their lives to that wonder which is a human being. Skilled professionals, personal friends, doctors and nurses with first names and last names and tragedies of their own. People intertwined in ever-changing patterns of love and hope, loneliness and despair. General Hospital, in color on ABC.
Tonight on News Final.
A transsexual takes a health club to the Human Rights Tribunal after being turned away from the women-only club. Plus, calls tonight for Toronto police to patrol the TTC after a recent escalation of transit crime. Also ahead, a verdict tonight for a former Toronto Argonaut accused of sexual assault.
This evening's rain-snow mix is pushing off towards the east, and that means sunshine and warm temperatures on Thursday.
And the biggest decision yet facing Barack Obama, a decision tonight for their choice for family dog.
From the Global Newsroom in Toronto, News Final with Leslie Roberts.
Good evening. We begin with developing news. Just a day after a teenage pedestrian was struck and killed in Vaughan, there has been...
Now at 5, a taste of spring today, a blast of winter this weekend. How much snow we'll see from the first of 2 storms.
A deadly crash on a local highway.
A firefighter and father of 2 young kids killed after leaving a charity event.
Charging tolls on Cape Cod? Why we could have to pay just to cross the bridge.
And the popular drink that may prevent skin cancer.
WBZ News starts right now. And what a day it was. I hope you got a chance to get outside and enjoy it. Hopefully you did, because you know.
Ahead at 5:30, is it much ado about nothing? The Harper government revealed a Russian jet flew near Canadian airspace just before President Obama was in Ottawa. Others say there's nothing unusual about that. So is there an issue? We'll look into it tonight. We'll also look at the challenges facing the media industry and an idea that's taking root in Britain and coming to Canada. A menu without prices, hoping you'll pay whatever you can afford to pay to fill empty restaurant seats. Hope you'll join us at 5:30.
27th, you're looking at a live shot of the Alberta Legislature tonight from our Global One News helicopter.
Today on the early news.
Chase aftermath.
He sustained serious injuries. He was not wearing his seatbelt.
The driver of a truck allegedly fleeing RCMP is sent to hospital after an ETS bus is rammed in southeast Edmonton. Wooing the West.
I'm supporting the oil sands against people who are calling it dirty oil in the United States.
Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff tries to reassure Alberta his party is on their side. And tax time, the RRSP deadline is fast approaching. We'll have some investment advice.
Now from Global Edmonton, the early news with Linda Steele.
Good afternoon. For the second time this month, the police.
Tonight on North Beat, school scare.
Somebody was carrying what appeared to be a firearm.
2 Yellowknife schools go into lockdown today after reports of a suspicious person carrying a gun in the area. And from Russia with bombs.
They should back off and stay out of our airspace.
Why did Russia send a bomber plane over the Arctic? And out of the dark, Yukon Energy explains why the territory has been hit by so many power outages this winter. Good evening and welcome to North Beat. I'm Randy Henderson. The search continues tonight for a young...
You guys were watching.
Bienvenue à l'ICN. Des centaines de personnes sont venues témoigner leur sympathie.
Argent, la chaîne financière de TVA.
Bonjour mesdames, messieurs, voici vos nouvelles d'argent du lundi 2 mars 2009.
Hello and welcome. You're watching France 24. Coming up, a macabre discovery in Madagascar one day after...
Hello and a very warm welcome to this edition of The Week in Europe. Coming up...
The news.
The fragile ceasefire in the trouble-torn Gaza Strip.
Namaskar and welcome to My India, the show that brings alive the spirit of India and showcase.
Hello and welcome to Newsweek South Asia. I'm Rangabashyam. First,
Estalla la violencia en las maquiladoras de la frontera, en protesta por los paros técnicos y despidos. Barack Obama se reúne con representantes republicanos en busca de la aprobación de su paquete económico. Se descarrila un tren en Michoacán. Los habitantes del lugar tuvieron que ser evacuados.
Muy buenas noches, bienvenidos a MX24 Noticias. Nos da gusto.
Washington, D.C., where something happens every day that will affect your life. ABC's Washington Bureau gets the news for you and gets it straight through personal contact between our newsmen and world newsmakers. John Scali in the State Department. Bob Clark and Sam Donaldson covering the government from Capitol Hill. At the White House, Tom Jarrell. And Bill Lawrence reporting on national affairs. They make their reports to you on the ABC Evening News. These men are returning from an overnight patrol in South Vietnam. Not all of them are soldiers. One of them is a reporter. This is Steve Bell. He covers the Indochina War for ABC News. It's a tough job, but he does it because he knows that a jungle skirmish, a single captured enemy document, or a military coup can influence events around the world. Steve Bell's assignments can take him from this fire-based patrol to a press conference in Saigon, or put him on a lonely road in Cambodia, where in April of 1970 he was captured by the Viet Cong and later released. Last year, his dedicated objective reporting won him the Overseas Press Club Award for his coverage of President Nixon's European tour. This dedication and objectivity, combined with his experience, makes Steve Bell an integral part of ABC's coverage of Southeast Asia. Watch for his reports on the ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner. This is Hong Kong. Across the border, China. ABC newsman Ted Koppel, like other American reporters, can't get into Red China. But there are ways to find out what's going on. This information comes from refugees, diplomats, and some sources that can't be revealed. In this part of the world, you have to know your way around. And that's what makes Ted Koppel an Asian specialist. Watch for his reports on the ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner. If you really want to cover the Middle East, you want a man who knows his way around, a palace or a marketplace. Peter Jennings is the kind of man you want. Any day of the week, you may find him in Damascus, Amman, Cairo, along the Suez. He's no stranger to the trouble spots of the world. Since coming to ABC News, he's handled special assignments in 11 different countries, including the Soviet Union, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the United Arab Republic. In 1969, he gained entry to Castro's Cuba and filmed a detailed portrait of life on that island. For Peter Jennings, people are the key to events, and he makes it his business to know them all, the camel drivers as well as the diplomats, bringing unique dimension and substance to his reports. Watch for them on the ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner. Howard K. Smith in Washington. And in New York, Harry Reasoner. Two good reasons to watch the ABC Evening News.
Presidential candidates were first chosen by national conventions in 1832, but few people were allowed in. Well, television has changed all that. You can sit in with ABC News at the Republican National Convention.
I'm Howard K. Smith.
And I'm Harry Reasoner. This election night, the ABC News team will be backed by thousands across the country. From the polling booths to campaign headquarters, we'll be covering the presidential, gubernatorial, and congressional contests across the nation.
You'll know the trends, the moods, and the long-range effects of any changes in the composition of the Senate and the House.
Be with us for the most complete ABC News election night coverage ever.
Harry, more than 60% of the American people now get most of their information on which to make whatever decisions they make from television. Does that ever frighten you?
Yeah, it does frighten me, Howard, sometimes. Overall,
get more out of the news from two men who care, Harry Reasoner and Howard K. Smith.
Most people who do watch a network evening news show watch most of it fairly carefully and have a fair idea of what's going on. So I think more than frightened, I feel responsible.
What qualities do you think somebody ought to have to do this job right?
Among other things, a kind of detachment. Don't you think? I think a good reporter is like a good cop. He's detached.
Seems to me that the quality that I prize most is intelligence. I suppose next is courage. And then conscientiousness.
Howard K. Smith and Harry Reasoner. Their concern is to keep you informed. Weeknights on the ABC Evening News.
The Odd Couple, starring Tony Randall and Jack Lucky.
There's stuff growing under there.
You stop exaggerating. It's a little dust.
Continue, Mr. Marshall.
Ponder my question carefully, Mr. Swenson. I wouldn't want you to make another mistake under oath.
All right, why do you bother even asking? You have it right.
In a country made up of so many different kinds of people, it's nice to know that so many of them have found that this is the place to be.
I'm shushing in the hospital. Somebody sick?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Feliz viernes para todos.
Desde Miami les saludamos Camilo Egaña
y María Regina Bustamante.
Aquí comienza otra entrega de Mega News.
A plane crash lands in the snowy mountains of Big Bear, but wait till you hear what happened to the passengers on board. Plus, from pop star to police probe, the cops may have broken the law themselves thanks to this picture of singer Rihanna. And now you can go for a swim without fear. Why the struggling economy is like shark repellent. LA's only 6:30 p.m. local newscast starts right now.
This is the KTLA News at 6:30, Southern California's only local news at 6:30.
Good evening, I'm Emmett Miller. The Friday Rush is on. Here's Ginger Chan in the traffic center. Ginger.
The future is uncertain. The outlook is shifting daily. In these rapidly changing times, we are here to help. Your Money Reports from Eyewitness News. A wealth of information, on air and online. Stories that can save you money each day at 5. A look at who's hiring at 5:30. And at 6, the financial news that's altering our world. Take control of your own recovery plan. Your Money Reports, every day on Eyewitness News, right now at WTHR.com.
The movie of the week, presenting the world premiere of an original motion picture produced especially for ABC.
In a country made up of so many different kinds of people, it's nice to know that so many of them have found that this is the place to be.
Dr. Welby. But you know as well as I do that corrective surgery could bring you back to normal. First and 10 on the 42-yard line.
In a country made up of so many different kinds of people, it's nice to know that so many of them have found that this is the place to be.
Stay tuned for the rookies next on ABC. We have liftoff with Apollo 14. The ABC suspense movie. Now the newlywed game of Continue, Mr. Marshall. Ponder my question carefully, Mr. Svensson. I wouldn't want you to make another mistake under oath. All right, why do you bother even asking? You have it right in your ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith.
ABC. This is the place to be.
Testimony to a Senate subcommittee on Watergate and the CIA.
Celebrating 4 decades of information, education, and entertainment. This is WVUT Vincennes.
WATE TV6, Knoxville. Taking you to where people live and news is made. This is TV6 Live Eyewitness News.
Good evening to you. I'm Sam Brown.
And I'm Ann Rollins. There are...
Straight from the heart, you are watching WBIR Channel 10 with Bill Williams, Edie Ellis, Margie Eisen, and Bob Kessler. This is Action 10 News tonight.
The service they give, and most airlines, is pretty poor.
This is Superstation, the American Forces Network, Europe.
He's making a list and checking it twice, and when he returns to the Mid-South airwaves, he'll tell you who's been naughty or nice. The Mid-South's #1 consumer investigator returns January 1st to Action News 5. News station, same attitude.
A woman says she was pulled over by a deputy who handcuffed her to the steering wheel, but authorities say that was no deputy.
Buildings in the Mid-South disappear in the fog, but this fog is different. Tim Simpson calls it freezing fog, and it can be dangerous.
And Mid-South cops hit the books. They go back to school looking for drug dealers and arrest 13 teens at one high school. Hello, everybody. I'm Richard Ransom.
I'm Claudia Barr. This is WREG News Channel 3 at 10. Our big story tonight, a Mid-South community is on the lookout for a man who may be posing as a police officer.
For Tracy Love tonight.
Now in HD. Action News 5 at 10 starts now.
It is surprising to me. That is pretty low down.
La Caisse de dépôt a un nouveau patron. Ici Julie Drolet, bienvenue au Téléjournal Québec.
Dès maintenant, le travail commence.
La Caisse de dépôt a un nouveau président, Michael Sebia.
On n'est pas ici dans des enfantillages là, qui est responsable de ce que vous excusez.
En commission parlementaire, Monique Jérôme-Forget nie toute responsabilité des déboires de la Caisse. Congé forcé pour les employés de la Stadacona.
Les temps sont durs, puis on a espoir que ça reparte.
Le chômage en hausse dans la région de Québec.
C'est bon. Merci.
Un premier salon des vins s'ouvre à Québec.
C'est vraiment un salon pour tout le monde. On va trouver des vins à 15, 16, 17, 18 et 20 $.
Et Ginette Renault enregistre un vidéoclip à Québec.
Bonsoir, Mesdames, Messieurs. La Caisse de dépôt a beaucoup monopolisé l'attention aujourd'hui. D'abord avec la très attendue comparution de la ministre des Finances.
Este miércoles en la zona metropolitana de Guadalajara estaremos alcanzando una temperatura máxima de 31 grados.
¿Qué tal? Buenas noches, amigos que nos sintonizan a lo largo y ancho del territorio.
Y el pensamiento de Raúl Cremú. Nuevamente, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Un gusto saludarle. Vamos a los detalles de las noticias. El gobierno mexicano respondió a las críticas del director de inteligencia.
Disminuyó considerablemente la venta de productos de la canasta básica debido a la crisis económica mundial.
40% se redujeron las ventas de la industria panificadora, aseveró el presidente del gremio.
Hasta la luz se está yendo para arriba cada día.
Se edifica un puente en el acceso principal a Santa María y Parapá.
Quedó conformado el Grupo de Coordinación Estatal para la Atención de los Jornaleros Agrícolas y sus familias.
Ante alumnos de la Universidad Vasconcelos, Alejandro Gertz Manero habló sobre la problemática de seguridad en el país.
Esta noche conoceremos la labor realizada por una mujer taxista.
Buenas noches y les saludamos con el gusto de siempre. Ya estamos listos para llevarles la información más importante generada al momento. Fabiola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, buenas noches. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros este día. Vamos a comenzar con la información.
Vamos a las noticias.
Poštovani gledatelji, dobar dan i dobrodošli.
Týden před návštěvou amerického prezidenta Baracka Obamy je stále v mlze.
Máme vám také levitující kouzelnici, která se půl hodiny vznášela nad zemí.
Takže zůstaňte s námi. Německá policie bude muset Tak ještě předtím, než se přivítáme s Václavem, tak vás musíme upozornit na změnu, která nás čeká během následujících hodin.
Ano, nezapomeňte, že v noci přecházíme na letní čas, to znamená, že ve 2 hodiny přesuneme ručičky na třetí.
Dobrý večer, Václave.
Ahoj.
Já vám ukážu velký výkon keňského nevědomého běžce na pražském půlmaratonu.
To bude ve Sportu večer na Nově, Pár domů, akční komedie, i když to teda není moc veselý název. A potom Údolí stínů, slavný film, válečný film. Mějte se pěkně.
A zítra na viděnou.
黄河之水，天上来！中国黄河电视台
China Yellow River TV Station.
“歪打正着，走上巧雕之路。”
他说：“烟台你都掉了，这个牛还不能做呀？说你好歹。”
儿时。
您现在收看的是中国黄河电视台。
Kurš vainīgs? Bijušie pilsētas saimnieki vaino cits citu par dienvidu tiltu būvniecību atklātajām nelikumībām. Valsts kontrole secinājusi, ka izšķērdēti vismaz 27 miljonu latu un dienvidu tiltu patiesi var saukt par vienu no dārgākajiem pasaulē. Nauda ir nevis izšķērdēta, bet nozagta. Tik skarbi ir mūsu aptaujātie autovadītāji. Bezdarba vilnis ir pateicīga augsni krāpniekiem. Internetā parādījušies aizdomīgi sludinājumi, kas aicina sūtīt maksas īsziņas, lai iegūtu informāciju par jaunākajām vakancēm. Lietuvā sabiedrības nopēlumu saņēmis deputāts, kurš savu parlamenta auto īrē no kāda Latvijas uzņēmuma. Saeima komisija uzskata, ka šāda deputāta Gražuļa rīcība ir nepatriotiska. Labvakar, panorāmā. Rīgas domas neprasmīgas projektu vadības un neekonomiskas rīcības dienvidu tilta.
Cei mai mulți români veniți vreodată la înmormântarea unui artist, peste 10.000 de oameni l-au condus pe Ion Dolănescu pe ultimul drum. O barjă sub pavilion bulgăresc încărcată cu peste 2000 de tone de minereu de fier s-a răsturnat în Dunăre. Bună!
Нелетная погода. За один день в мире произошли сразу 4 авиакатастрофы. В 2 из них не выжил никто. Границы на замке. Мировая пограничная элита собирает силы. Так сильно по наркотрафику и работорговле еще не били. И удар ниже пояса. Вкус гамбургера портит сильный доллар. Макдональдс теряет не по дням, а по часам. Большие амбиции детского Евровидения. На кону заветная путевка. После череды первых мест за этой борьбой следят не только домохозяйки. Это «Панорама на первом» с Дмитрием Бочковым. Здравствуйте. В рамках рабочего визита в Российскую Федерацию президента Беларуси сегодня состоялась встреча Александра Лукашенко с главой.
Dobro večer, vrijeme za dnevnik televizije Bosne i Hercegovine. Evo što je danas novo.
Washington najavio mjere za poboljšanje odnosa s Moskvom. Rusija za to vrijeme najavljuje modernizaciju vojske.
Žalbeno vijeće Haškog tribunala izreklo je danas pravosnažnu presudu momčilu Krajišniku.
Përshëndetje të nderuar teleshikues. Ja ku takohemi sërish në hapësirën dedikuar unë miratutësi, mirë takofshim të mërkurën e ardhshme.
Začína sa nový týždeň, my sme pripravení povedať vám, čo sa stalo doma aj vo svete.
Vítajte pri správach. Dobrý večer.
Ministerstvo vnútra zriadilo infolinku k voľbám. Volať môžete do soboty.
Prízrak z Amštetenu stál pred súdom. Priznal sa k väčšine obvinení.
D1 Bratislava Trnava je zúžená. Veľké problémy v premávke zatiaľ nerobí.
Prezidentské voľby sa blížia. Už v sobotu môžeme rozhodnúť, kto bude stáť na čele.
Pekný večer pri góloch, bodoch, sekundách. Nečakane divoký je prvý zápas semifinálovej série play-off Extraligy Slovan Skalica. V prvej tretine padlo 6 gólov, v druhej sa schýľovalo k odchodu
Hər vaxtınız xeyir olsun, hörmətli tamaşaçılar. Hər günün yekun buraxılışına baxırsınız. Əvvəlcə günün əsas xəbərlərinə diqqət yetirək. Prezident İlham Əliyev paytaxtda bir neçə salamat qalın.
Pozdravljeni, spoštovane gledalke, cenjeni gledalci. Revščina je zadnje mesece potrkala na prenekatera vrata. Vse več ljudi išče pomoč, predvsem osnovna živila za preživetje. V skladiščih humanitarnih organizacij je hrane že zmanjkalo.
Κυρίες και κύριοι, καλησπέρα σας. Έκκληση στους Ευρωπαίους ηγέτες να εντάξουν την Τουρκία στην Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση απίφθηνε ο Αμερικανός πρόεδρος Ομπάμα.
欢迎收看宏观国语新闻，我是何佩珍。内连续被同一台测速器拍下了2张超速罚单，他心生不满，竟然把测速器喷满了黑色油漆。
Diventa sul mondo all'Aquila, finiva peggio. Quindi allora era necessario evitare che...
Doamnelor și domnilor, bună seara!
Și bun venit la principalul jurnal al zilei, în studio Octavian Volcu
și Vera Terentiev. Să vedem titlurile ediției.
Întâlnire trilaterală la Moscova. Dimitri Medvedev, Vladimir Voronin și Igor Smirnov au semnat un acord ce prevede înlocuirea trupelor ruse din Transnistria cu un contingent sub egida OSCE.
Rusia va dona Moldovei 50.000 de tone de carburanți pentru lucrările agricole de primăvară.
Investițiile făcute în zona portului de la Giurgiulești ar putea fi recuperate în următorii 3-4 ani.
Situația pe piața valutară s-a stabilizat, ne asigură vicepreședintele Băncii Naționale. Asta după ce pierderele în urma fluctuațiilor dirijate a cursului au atins aproape 50 de milioane de lei.
Întâlnire trilaterală la Moscova. Dimitri Medvedev, Vladimir Voronin și Igor Smirnov.
Negocierile din capitala rusă s-au încheiat cu semnarea unui acord comun.
Potrivit documentului,
és emelik a jövedelemadót. Kedves nézőink, ez volt a híradó, köszönjük figyelmüket, viszontlátásra!
Következik a sport, itt a Duna Televízióban.
Sporthíradónkat látják, köszöntöm Önöket! Az 51 kg-os súlycsoportban szereplő Szabó